Hello, my dear friend. Many people think that the ability to speak effectively is the most important key to persuading others. Yes, they are partly right at some point, but there is something overlooked: silence. Sometimes speaking less can be more impressive and more effective than speaking a lot, even more than speaking beautifully and persuasively. In this video, I want to talk about how silence and speaking less can make you stronger and more impactful. I can define speaking less and staying silent at the right moment as a subtle form of manipulation. First, let's look at creating impact by listening. Silence works mainly in interpersonal relationships because when you speak, you are often trying to prove something to the other person. In such a relationship, the other person does not feel that they truly exist within that interaction. You talk, you explain, and you think, the better I explain, the better the other person will understand and the more they will be influenced by me. But in real relationships, this is not the key. What truly influences people is this: how much am I valued? How much am I listened to? How seriously am I taken? You may say, I take you seriously, but that is not enough. If you stay silent and truly listen to the other person, then they will feel valued, and that is when you influence them. People who talk too much often start speaking about things they do not fully know. Everything you speak about reveals your inner world to others. When you talk about topics you are not knowledgeable in, others may perceive you as superficial, so you should know this. If you talk too much, your impact on others decreases over time. But if you speak less and choose silence more often, people perceive you as more substantial, more mysterious, and more charismatic. People tend to interpret those who speak less as wiser. You may have noticed this around you. Those who speak less and listen more often appear deeper and more impressive. Sometimes, even just listening with a slight smile can create a powerful effect. In psychology, there is something called therapist silence. This is used to help the other person express themselves more deeply. People feel uncomfortable with silence. That's why even a few seconds of silence during a conversation can push the other person to speak more. For example, someone tells you about an event and you simply stay silent. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. This silence creates pressure on the other person, and they feel the need to open up more. This technique is also commonly used in job interviews. The interviewer asks you a question, you answer, and then they stay silent. This silence makes you uncomfortable, and you feel the urge to say more. Similarly, people who talk a lot about their goals and dreams tend to take less action, because even while talking, they experience a sense of satisfaction. This prevents them from taking real action. Therefore, speaking less about your goals can help you take more action. Another important point is speaking briefly and concisely. When someone asks you a question, instead of answering immediately, taking a short pause makes you appear more impactful. A response given after 10 to 15 seconds of silence is perceived as more valuable. Also, keep this in mind. The more you talk and feel the need to explain yourself, the less value others may give you. But if you express yourself in fewer and more precise words, people will value what you say much more. Thank you for listening. Take good care of yourself. See you next time.